Hey folks, Mike Johnson here. If it's got wheels and an engine, you're in the right place. On this channel, we dive into car repairs, maintenance tips, and everything you need to keep your ride running smooth. If you're into cars and want to keep learning, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. It really helps the channel out. All right, enough talking. Let's get into it.
Rotors do not require sophisticated diagnostic equipment. Most professionals test the vehicle to see how the brakes feel. Then they perform a visual inspection of the rotors and, if necessary, measure the rotors as well. Right. Front brake disc inspection methods. Rotors are simple disc-shaped metal plates. As such, they are generally fairly easy to diagnose. Note, the following are general guidelines for educational and entertainment purposes only. Consult your vehicle's factory information for specific repair instructions and recommended safety procedures. 1. Go through pedal feel pulsations or vibrations during braking are almost always caused by deformed rotors. There are other possibilities, such as a bad wheel bearing, but rotors are most often to blame. So, if your brake pedal vibrates during braking, you may just want to wing it and put on a new set of pads and front rotors. 2. Visual inspection. Take a look at your rotors. If they show deep scratches, discoloration from extreme heat, hard spots, or cracks, it's time to change the pair. You'll need a few special tools, such as a brake disc micrometer and a dial indicator, to measure the thickness of your brake discs. 3. Take measurements. If you want to be sure that your rotors are worn, you can take several measurements. You'll need a few special tools, such as a brake rotor micrometer and a dial indicator, to get the job done. Many professionals only take the time to measure thickness, but if you're feeling ambitious, you can check all three measurements. Release the clamp by pulling it up and away from the rotor. If the caliper is stubborn, you may need to use a large screwdriver or a pry bar to release it. Use either a zip tie or a bungee cord to secure the caliper to the stub axle or other heavy-duty suspension component. Do not allow the caliper to hang from the brake hose, as this could cause damage. Remove the brake pads from the caliper mounting bracket, floating calipers only. Secure the rotor to the hub with the wheel nuts. Attach the clamping end of the dial gauge to a solid, fixed location, such as the steering knuckle or caliper mounting bracket. Place the pointed end of the tool in the center of the rotor surface, where the pad would move, and set the dial to 0. Turn the rotor by hand, keeping the tool perpendicular to the rotor surface. Note the reading on the dial gauge. As a rule of thumb, runout should be less than 0.002 inch. It's a good idea, however, to compare your reading with the manufacturer's specifications to be sure. If the runout exceeds the specifications, the rotor should be rebuilt, if possible, or replaced, recommended. Thickness variation, aka parallelism. The last thing to check is the thickness variation, which, as the name suggests, checks the difference in width around the rotor circumference. Bear in mind, this measurement is difficult to take and often produces false readings. If you decide to give it a try, measure the rotor thickness at least 8 different points around the rotor. Then subtract the thinnest measurement from the thickest. This is your reading. Compare your reading with the manufacturer's specifications to see if your rotor needs reworking, if possible, or replacing, recommended. If you find that the rotors are worn beyond specification, you'll want to service them immediately. On the other hand, if the rotors look fine, you can reassemble everything. Be sure to tighten the caliper mounting bolts, if removed, and lug nuts to the manufacturer's specifications. Caution, once everything is reassembled and the car is back on the ground, pump the brakes several times to make sure they are firm. Do not drive the car until the brakes are firm. In conclusion, diagnosing defective front brake rotors is essential for maintaining your vehicle's safety and performance. By paying attention to symptoms such as vibrations, unusual noises, and uneven wear, you can identify potential issues early on. Remember to inspect your rotors regularly and consult a professional if you're unsure about any signs of trouble. Taking these steps will help ensure that your braking system remains reliable, giving you peace of mind on the road. Thank you for watching, and drive safely.